Top on the brief this morning, a community in chaos, best described Okwama, Ughelli North, local government area of Delta State that has now been razed. For context, the incident follows the ambush and killing of 16 soldiers who were on a peace mission after responding to a distress call over the Okwama and Okoloba communal clash. There are claims that the angry soldiers are responsible for setting the town ablaze in defense of their colleagues, although some of the people in connection with this have been arrested, according to the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army, who are on a manhunt for the perpetrators of the crime, as residents of Okwama have now fled the town for fear of retaliation by the soldiers. Bodies of 14 soldiers have so far been recovered, and the Chief of Defense Staff has ordered an investigation into the killings, while the Delta State government has condemned the acts and commiserates with the affected families. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu appears quite livid over the killing of soldiers in Okwama community, maintaining the action of the perpetrators will not go unpunished. The president, who condoles with the victims' families in a personal statement, also extols the virtues of the servicemen who lay their lives down for the nation's safety. The Commander-in-Chief's statement ordering action reads in part, "Any attack on them is a direct attack on our nation. We will not accept this wicked act. The cowardly offenders responsible for this heinous crime will not go unpunished." President Tinubu assures that his government is committed to ensuring nationwide peace and tranquility. Well, another day, another sad tale that emanates from Kaduna yet again. This time, no fewer than 14 people have been reportedly kidnapped by suspected bandits at Dogondome, Ugwan community in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. The incident comes barely a week after 61 people were kidnapped at Buda community, also in Kajuru local government area. Although the police authorities are yet to confirm the attack, however, a local youth leader, Sani Busa, told Channels Television that the bandits in large numbers had, in the early hours of Saturday, invaded the Dogondo Noma community and started shooting sporadically, during which they abducted 14 people, while one person sustained injury. And to other stories now, for 2 years, he hasn't been paid a salary as governor, neither does his wife have an official car as First Lady. Guess who? Well, it's Professor Chukwuma Soludo, governor of Anambra State, saying it's his way of walking the talk of cutting the cost of governance. Professor Soludo, who was speaking at the 2nd anniversary of his administration, believes the austere measure has helped not to incur more public debt as he reveals his account of stewardship.
As I speak to you, I'm not taking any salary. I'm not paid any salary by Anambra State government. Even the First Lady of Anambra doesn't have any official car. She still drives my personal vehicles. We are executing the most austere government ever and directing resources, cutting waste, cutting the cost of governance to bare bones, and directing resources, prioritizing them to what is the most important for the people. And so what you say, us delivering, is that we are determined, at least if I can't do anything else, having been governor of the central bank and not just another governor who managed the resources of this country with annual budget of the central bank over $2 billion. Now I have to manage the one of Anambra with less than 200 million. A fraction of what was there in the past. We needed to demonstrate that it is possible. It is possible to give people basic value. Albeit that from this year we will be changing gear. And when we change gear, Anambra, your hands seen nothing yet. Yes. Why still talking about this point is important for me to highlight, because I think Your Lordship, you did mention something which is part of the reason why we came. We are of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. Our motto is leave no one behind.
Away from that, in the face of recent allegations of budget pardon by now-suspended Senator Abdul Ningi, a public budget expert, a research fellow, Dr. Emeka Ejikonye, says until elected officials understand the power they have to curb activities of the civil service, there will be no end to budget pardon in Nigeria's budgeting system. He made the assertion in an exclusive interview with Channels Television. Mr. Ejikonye is recommending that the budget office should be situated in the office of the president and reporting directly to the commander-in-chief.
The budget office of the executive budgeting office of the United States is located inside the White House. It is the instrument with which the president of America coordinates the activities of the whole administration. It's a formal organization there with permanent staff. What the president does when he has is he appoints the head. When he leaves, he takes the head away. That agency remains. Are you getting what I'm saying? When I say an institutional coordinating agency, is a permanent agency with permanent pensionable staff working on behalf for the president to carry out the purpose of the president. Let's reform budgeting, please, because it is from budgeting, that will start solving the problem of security. You see, for me, the priority of Nigeria today is to solve the problem of hunger. But there's no way you can solve the problem of hunger if forests are not safe for farmers to go into. As long as we continue to put this money, particularly in the Ministry of Defense, at the level of the minister and the permanent secretaries in the Ministry of Defense, we can never achieve our purpose. We must get down to the big guys in the field.
Well, let's also tell you that our public tertiary institutions from this morning will be without senior and non-academic staff who have commenced a 7-day warning strike following the expiration of a 7-day ultimatum given to the federal government over withheld salaries. The Joint Action Committee of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and Non-Academic Staff Union say Downing Tool is their last resort to compel the federal government to pay its withheld 4 months salaries over a 2022 strike action. The decision of the Joint Action was conveyed in a statement directing all members nationwide to mandatorily comply without entertaining any form of concession, as government, according to them, has not positively responded to their demands. Let's now talk elections. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it is already deploying artificial intelligence for the conduct of coming elections in Edo and Ondo states, particularly for result management, to ensure that only authentic results are uploaded. That's coming from INEC's Acting Director of ICT, Mr. Lawrence Mayode, who was speaking on the sidelines of the Artificial Intelligence and Elections in Africa conference in Nairobi, Kenya. Nigeria is one of the 5 African countries said to have been deploying AI in its elections, and the natural question is, will AI enhance our elections or not?
We know that it enhances processes and improves outcomes. But technology and AI in particular, as we're seeing it, can also cause harms. We know that it can, and sometimes we're seeing that it can exacerbate existing challenges.
What do we mean by AI? Artificial intelligence is an umbrella term for computer systems that use data, algorithms, and computing power to perform a range of tasks that historically human intelligence was needed for, right? You can think about this as things like recognizing images, recognizing patterns, extrapolating patterns and features from data, and then also making predictions or even generating data.
One area where we are currently deploying AI is that area of our result management system. That's the area where we need to upload the result sheet onto the IRF portal. That system uses AI to ensure that only INEC result is uploaded onto the IRF.
Citizens need to start asking questions. If INEC is going to be deploying technology, what is the technology? Who are we buying this technology from? How much are we buying this technology? Is INEC conducting audits? Are the audit processes open and transparent for political parties, for civil society, for media to be part of it? Because as we've seen in other African countries, EMBs engage critical stakeholders to participate in audit processes. And the third and perhaps the last point is that whilst technology is a powerful tool for protecting electoral integrity, it could be a tool for undermining electoral integrity. And so it is not perfect, but to a large extent, it can help curb some of the excesses. And we have to believe in technology, but do so cautiously.
Let's now talk business. The 2.15 million bags of fertilizers donated to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security were from a stockpile of a program initiated by the previous administration, not a new intervention report. Now, that's according to the CBN, based on its latest circular of FAQs over the donation, where it explains that the gesture of the blended fertilizers aims to bolster food security within the country instead of allowing it to waste. The CBN re-emphasized its stance that its main function is to manage monetary policy, explicitly denying participation in development financing through intervention programs, which is why the fertilizer was donated to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security instead of directly to the farmers. Those were the explanations. Outside our shores, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu appears determined to launch an offensive in Rafah, defying international criticism. The city is crammed with some 1.5 million Palestinians from other parts of Gaza seeking refuge. His comments come as the German Chancellor restated his opposition to the plan. However, Netanyahu says no international pressure will stop Israel from achieving all of its war aims. For sports, the FA Cup leads as the holder. Manchester City will face Chelsea in the semi-finals at Wembley, while Manchester United reward for their thrilling win against Liverpool is a meeting with second-tier country. That's Coventry, rather. Sunday's draw for the last four raised the prospect of a repeat of last season's All-Manchester FA final, which City won 2-1. Treble chasing City East through the semi-finals with a 2-0 victory over Newcastle on Saturday. Chelsea needed 2 stoppage time goals to beat championship promotion chasers. That's Leicester 4-2 at the Stamford Bridge on Sunday, while United twice came back from a goal down to beat Liverpool 4-3 at Old Trafford. Well, those are the stories we've been tracking for you, say in the last, it's not 24 hours, just throughout the weekend and then into the last 24 hours, which will also shape the conversation for the rest of the program and maybe the rest of the day for today.